Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. On this channel, we talk about all things fandom and we talk about it in a positive way. If that's something that appeals to you, you've come to the right place. We're so happy to have you here. And today is Terrifying Tuesday. And not just that, this Terrifying Tuesday, we have to talk about the possibility that Stu is maybe alive. We're going to break it all down, so let's jump right into it. We have to talk a little bit about this Stu Macher situation because if you've been listening to the news lately about Scream 7, you've been realizing something weird. All these actors are coming back, and even David Arquette is returning. Now, David Arquette said that it wasn't supposed to come out that he was in the movie. Now, here's the catch. Matthew Lillard said that he wasn't supposed to be announced until the trailer, that they weren't supposed to say that Stu Macher was back until the trailer. And all of this has sparked some very interesting theories and very interesting comments from a lot of people, because on one side you have the people who definitely want Stu Macher alive. They want him back and they want him front and center. So to show him in the trailer possibly being the leader of some ghost face cult is something that's going to make them want to be there. And then on the other hand, you have people that are saying, wait a minute, no. Stu Macher cannot actually be alive. He's got to be part of this AI storyline that we've been hearing about, because if Stu Macher is alive, you don't put him in the trailer. You don't reveal your killer. And I understand both points of view. However, there are some situations in which you can make either one of those work. But in order to find out what those are, we do have to break down the news that has been said. So this is some of the things that Matthew Lillard has been saying in the interviews that he has been a part of. So Matthew Lillard said, according to one site, he said, I was pretty excited about it. I had questions when Kevin Williamson called me talking about his return. He said, I'm excited and really ecstatic to be back. I hope fans are happy. I hope people are excited to see me. I just hope I don't screw it up. I mean, you know, I think people are going to love it. Then I think the script's great. The cast is fantastic. So I'm really hopeful that it's a home run. It's like old friends, right? And Neve Campbell's on set. And working with Neve again and seeing her is great. And I think we're all really hopeful that, look, I think the journey continuing. I think fans are going to be excited. It's got that vibe of like old school Scream. And so I just think we're all really hopeful. We're building what the fans will love and appreciate. I've been in a lot of really terrible movies with lots of really terrible parts, but every now and then I catch this little joyride. And he says that it wasn't supposed to be announced until the trailer. He says, I was definitely not supposed to be announced until the trailer, but I think that we were all pretty conscious of the fact that, you know, once you start saying Scream 7 shooting, the people are going to start paying attention to the general area. Sneaking me in and sneaking me out would have been very difficult. So eventually we broke the news ourselves before I got a chance to leak. So it is what it is. Modern technology. I don't think anyone was unduly surprised. I'll put it that way. And then in another interview, he said this. He said, yeah, I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want to be the one who ends up killing the franchise forever. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I mean, I'm hopeful that people like it. I hope people are excited about me. I'm hopeful, you know, we deliver. Having Kevin back, having Neve in the fold again as the lead hero, you know, I think that the future is bright. But that's yet to be determined, right? It's a lot of people who are going to have opinions. I just hope we win a majority of the hearts and minds. Yes, Stu Macher could indeed be alive. That's kind of the thing. He could also be dead. We don't know until the movie comes out. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate and kind of go both sides here. We're going to talk a little bit first about why Stu Macher could indeed be dead. And this is the thing. You could very easily say he's dead, make it the AI twist everyone's been talking about, and putting him in the trailer might actually hint that he's a bigger part of this AI twist than some of the other killers involved. And that could be the thing. You could show him and show the AI kind of twist in the movie where people are saying it can't be him because he's dead, and he could just be the narrative that's used, the one that gets used the most. And it would kind of also hint into that Stu Macher was supposed to be the leader of the Ghostface cult, and that never actually happened. So then you look at it that way, that makes a little more sense. Okay, so now let's look at a scenario where Stu Macher is alive. We know that the Scream movies oftentimes will mock other horror movies, and there's been a lot of horror movies in the past where people pretend to be insane, they pretend not to be able to move, they pretend to be basically in wheelchairs or paralyzed, not able to really be a threat. And we do know that there is a sanitarium in this movie. There is, so we know that there's something like that going on. We know that someone escapes. And if you don't know about the person that escapes or the story that's been going around about the escapee, I'm not going to spoil that here for you. But it is logical that since we do know that there is an insane asylum in the movie, that Stu Macher could be a resident. It would make a lot more sense for him to be a resident there than it would make for him to be somehow in a coma all these years or just alive and never having come out of hiding. And sure, he could have been buying his time, but who's paying for that sanitarium visit? Who's paying for this? We know that Stu Macher supposedly came from a rich family, and yeah, his parents could be flipping the dime at least until they died, and then his estate could be paying for him to be there. And maybe Nev knows, maybe Sydney knows about it, maybe Gail knows about it, maybe Gail knows and has kept it secret all these years. Gail Weathers is not above keeping things a secret, especially when it can benefit her. Even though she is Sydney's friend in the movie, and even though they get along, she has always been a little bit more on the side of what's going to benefit Gail Weathers. So I could definitely see her doing something that would benefit her that isn't going to benefit anybody else, like keeping Stu Macher's being alive a secret until it would actually somehow sell her a novel or he gets out and is cured. Because imagine the publicity she would get as one of the survivors to interview this newly cured psychopath. Yes, that would be something that would gain her ratings. And we do know that they are talking about Gail Weathers and her situation in the movie as well. We know that there's news about her being in the movie and coming to visit Sydney and kind of having her own issues in this movie. So we do know that there's been some talk about that. So when you look at all of this logically and you think about Scream being a parody of other types of horror movies, they could very well do that narrative. They could have him alive. They could actually do this situation where is he redeemed or is he still the killer? In fact, it might be funny. It might be really good. Have him get out of the insane asylum, do an interview with Gail Weathers, have Sydney doubt that and be extremely mad because she's getting these AI things, and she's pretty sure that Stu Macher might be the one behind it, and if he's not, he's still probably a psychopath. So she could be very mad about the entire situation, cause a rift between her and Gail, and Gail would have to once again prove herself to be loyal to Sydney, at least loyal enough not to not be her friend. And it could run that way. It would make sense that they do that and not have to explain oh, Stumacher survived because they just do a throwaway line about his parents put him in an insane asylum when he survived the TV falling on his head. And that could be the entire narrative they have to run with. It's a horror movie, and it's a movie at the end of the day, and we don't have to think too much about why he survived. Scream has always been realistic, I hear people say. Well, not really. There's a lot of things in Scream that sort of happen that are completely unrealistic. So it's not too much of a stretch that he's going to survive and be in an insane asylum all these years. So that's kind of the way I think of that. If they do it that way, I think that could work, but they have a lot of other ways they could do this as well. But that is where I'm going to leave it off to you guys. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that he means that he's alive, or do you think that he means that he's dead? What do you think the fate of Stumacher is? Let's have a conversation. As always, we want to know what you guys think. Make sure you're leaving us that comment in the comment box below, letting us know what you think. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends. They're going to want to be a part of this crazy conversation. Then don't forget to hit that like button. It's free. It helps the channel, and we really do appreciate it. Then Miko says we need more subscribers, and look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.